I've owned this 1 Series now for 5 years. I've put on 50,000 miles and I think it's a great little runaround. Let me tell you why. So let's go for a little drive. I must say this is an older car, which means it had hydraulic steering. And what that means is it's a bit harder to work with. As I said, this is the first 1 Series that has come around, as in the first version. This is competing with the VW Polos and the Ford Fiestas. When I first got this car, I had a Ford Fiesta from 2015. And my God, when I tell you the suspension and the comfort that I felt in this car made that car look and feel very, very cheap, okay? You don't feel a thing with this car when you're driving it. It's honestly very, very comfortable and very powerful. The 120D produces, I think, is 170 brake horsepower. I'll put in the figures on screen now. It's a very powerful car for what it is. So if you're looking for a little runaround, something to do miles with, this is definitely a good car for that. Also, the aftermarket parts for this car are plentiful. There are so many mods that you can do for this car, and parts are cheap. It's an older car. There's many around, so most parts you can find online for cheap, whether it's bumpers, bonnets, whatever. It's a lot of cheap parts. As I mentioned to you before, I've only had 2 issues with this car ever. Obviously, brake pads and discs and stuff. But in terms of actual problems, I've had the screen wash motor go off, but that's like a BMW thing. I've had the issue with my other BMW as well. And the second problem that I had was the ABS sensor wire. What ends up happening is the actual disc, the ring thing, gets corroded and starts rubbing against the wire. So what ends up happening is you end up having some issues, okay? So I've had to replace that wire. The wire itself cost you like £8. It's a very cheap fix, okay? So the point I'm trying to make here is it's a cheap car to run. If you get the 120D, the engine is actually a bit better because it has a bigger turbo. It's a very reliable engine as it is, okay? I've got the automatic gearbox. The gearbox on these engines are pretty good as well. I think this car is probably good for another 50,000 miles. They're very cheap right now. You can probably get them for £1,000, if not a bit cheaper. And not a lot goes wrong. If you take care of them, not a lot goes wrong with these cars. Let's move on to the modifications. What mods have I got on the car? So I've got the steering wheel cover, as you can see here. I paid £10 for this and I stitched it up myself. It really changes the look of the car. I've wrapped the interior black here. I've done this and I've done the doors as well. It's a very cheap mod. Again, just something that changes the interior a little bit. One thing this car doesn't come with is cup holders. And I don't understand why. I've looked everywhere in the car and it does not have any cup holders, which is crazy to me. So actually, there's a mod that you can buy here for £5 and you can it adds like cup holders for you. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. This car comes with cruise control. Again, very handy on the motorway. It's rear-wheel drive. Honestly, I don't know what more you want in a small little runaround, right? Really, it's been a great car. But let's talk about the negatives. What's bad about this car? So first one is cup holders. There's no cup holders. The second thing is road tax. So you're probably going to get this car for maybe $1 to $2 grand-ish, maybe up to £3 if you're getting a very low miles one. The road tax is really expensive. It's £330 a year, or £300 if you pay it in one go. And I'll be honest, that's the main part that I hate about this car, because I'm like, the car's only worth £1,000. Why am I paying 1/3 of the price in tax every year? So I'd say that's probably the biggest negative. I can't think of any other negatives. It's not a spacious car. Don't expect a family car from this. So that's probably something to bear in mind. But other than those 2 things, the car is perfect. Okay? If I were you, I want a little run around or a car that I can just have as a little project. I'd buy this for £1 or £2, run it to the ground, service it, probably last you a long time. So I've had it for 5 years now. I don't plan to sell it. It's not really worth much anyways. So let's talk about costs. Okay? I service the car myself, as I mentioned to you. So parts cost me roughly around £80 every year. That's oil, oil filter, air filter, and every couple of years fuel filter. Let's call it an even £100 a year, okay? You obviously got your MOT cost, but that's for any car. And then you have the road tax, which we can include for now. Other than that, I haven't really had to do much. In the past 5 years, I've changed the brake discs front and back, and I've changed the pads front and back. I've only had to do them once, but over 5 years, 50,000 miles, they've lasted quite a while. Other than that, really, I haven't had any other costs, to be honest with you. I've upgraded the lights, so it comes with the old, I just didn't like the style of the old ones. I bought me a pair of new ones. They're about I got them for like about £40. That's another thing, the car is easy to work on. So when it comes to brakes, stuff like that, it's quite easy to work on. The battery's in the back. I don't like that. I did get stuck one time where my battery died, everything was closed, and it was so hard to get to the battery. That's the one thing I don't like, but it probably isn't a negative. So if you're looking for a runaround, you're looking for something that you can play around with or something cheap to run or whatever, this is the car for you. I don't think you're going to face a lot of repair costs, okay? And most of the issues that happen to it are more of a common BMW issue, which happened to all the BMWs of this era. What that means is they're easy to fix and the parts are cheap. Anyways, guys, hope you find this useful. I'll be doing more reviews on my cars, but let me know if this is some content that you'd like to see. If you have any questions, put it in the comments and I'll respond as soon as I can. Thanks all. See you next one.